Yo, it's a Drunken Atheist coming through the scene. Christ, how a wiki, living in this dream. Got the studio vibe with a dose of green. Drunken on drugs, man, it's quite a routine. Chilling on the mic with a style so raw. Got the late night stream, you know the deal. Y'all passing out on live like Rakida's Law. Degenerate behavior is the wildest draw. Drunken Atheist Studio, party every night. Chris Halloween is loving and I'm feeling so right. Mixing drugs and booze on the laser lights. Late night 5 minutes out of sight. I stream every drink with the cast on full. Chris gets fucked up, stories getting bold. From the base to laugh, the content's cold. Diving into wildness, never do what you're told. Every broadcast is a ride full of twisted cheer. You're watching Dad stream and Chris has had 1,000 beers. Psilocybin mushrooms make it crystal clear. He ain't never gonna stop, it's the show of the year. Drunken Atheist Studio, party every night. Christ, Halloween's living it, I'm feeling so right. Mixing acid with Molly under laser lights. Late night, 5 minutes out of sight. So raise your glass high to the man of the hour. Christ and crew got that unfiltered power. Fading out on live, but the rave won't sour. Degenerate and wild, they'll never cower. Drunken Atheist Studio, party every night. Christ, Halloween's living it, I'm feeling so right. Mixing drugs and blues under laser lights. Late night, 5 minutes out of sight. It's a drunken atheist coming through the scene. Christ wiki, living out his dream. Got the studio vibe with a dose of green. Drunken on drugs, man, it's quite the routine. Chilling on the mic with a style so raw. Got that late night stream, you know the deal, dog. Passing out on live like Rakida's Law. Degenerate behavior's the wildest draw. Drunken Atheist Studio, party every night. Chris Halloween's living it up, feeling so right. Mixing drugs and booze and the laser lights. Late night vibes, man, it's out of sight. Click a stream, grab a drink, watch shit unfold. Chris gets fucked up, shaking like he told. From vids to streams, the content's gold. Diving into wildness, never do what you're told.
What's up, you Lofi?
Mixing drugs and booze and the laser lights. Late night 5 minutes out of sight. Click that stream, grab a drink, watch shit unfold. Chris gets fucked up, shaking like he cold. From vids to streams, the content's cold. Diving into wildness, never do what you're told. Every broadcast is a ride full of twisted cheer. You're watching that stream and Chris has drank 100 beers. Psilocybin mushrooms make it crystal clear. He never gonna stop. I'm a one drunk off the motherfucking year. Drunken Atheist Studio, party every night. Chris Halloween's living it up, feeling so right. Mixing acid with Molly under laser lights. Late night 5 minutes out of sight. So raise your glass high to the man of the hour. Christ Halloween got the motherfucking sour. Christ Halloween got the motherfucking power. Christ Halloween gotta throw you off a tower.
I just went to work. Now I'm editing.
Drunken Atheist Studio, party every night. Christ Halloween's living it up, feeling so right. Eating all the drugs and the lights and the laser lights. Night wave 5 minutes out of sight. Like and subscribe if you ain't lame. Christ Halloween, be his name. Go to Drunken Atheist Studio to watch him play games. So fuck it, let's just do a pot of cocaine. Motherfuckers, motherfuckers.
You both have been in the chat before.
So-called achievements. As vice president, you actually didn't do anything except hide from the media most of the time, and the one thing that you did do was actually cast tie-breaking votes in favor of Joe Biden's very unpopular agenda. So she has no
very upset because there were constant rumors that we were going to be canceled. Then when it finally was announced, that was some of the most fun we ever had. because nobody had anything to lose. And so, we would just have a good time. We would try the craziest, most offensive things we could do, and we got away with everything until the pants dropping thing got out of control. Then management said, if one more person drops their pants, you're going to get canceled immediately. No rap show, no best of show, no rap party. So we had to stop that. For a couple days, it was nuts. They were trying to one-up each other.
I think for me, by the time when Kevin Pereira was gone, I was like, okay, so this is done. And I think to a lot of people, it seemed like, yeah, this G4 TV thing, it's going to come to an end. And remember, this is like when streamers are, from my perspective, this is like when Netflix is getting big, Hulu's now happening, the Switch is happening, and it's like, well, how does, a daily TV network fit into this new media ecosystem?
Yeah, and I think it had started, when Olivia left, because that it was the chemistry between the two that really made the show. But I think, and I even mentioned this in the documentary, that we had always said that they could replace Olivia.
Time out. Yuri Lofi, what are you talking about? How did Lisa ruin it? She hasn't ruined it. I want more people watching the channel. It's good. We're all friends here.
They had, but Kevin was really the heart of the show, and if he was to leave, then we'd be canceled.
Okay, you could be the biggest fan. Lisa has never claimed to be the biggest fan. Just FYI. And I think today is the first time you've declared yourself the biggest fan, at least on Kick. Are you sure? I do forget most of the things that happen on the stream. I just don't remember. I hope I'm not being manipulated right now.
All the things he could do so well.
People, you could tell me, well, you said this, Chris. You could just gaslight me into believing that I saw something.
And just also be so in tune with the culture, with it. I think it had started, when Olivia left, because that it was the chemistry between the two that really made the show. But I think, and I even mentioned this in the documentary, that we had always said that they could replace Olivia.
I really like that one.
But Kevin was really the heart of the show, and if he was to leave, then we'd be canceled. Because you couldn't find one person who could do all the things he could do so well, and just also be so in tune with the culture, with it. And then after years and years and years,
My back is spasming.
Finally, I got a house. I put all my money into the house, thinking, okay, I'm going to finally take this plunge and do this. And then that was on a Friday, and on Monday, while I was out doing a school thing, Kevin announced that he was leaving. I was like, oh, you're kidding. I just put all my money in the house. I'm done. But it looked like for a little while we were going to keep going. But when Olivia was gone, and then Candace came in, and Candace is like the nicest, sweetest person, it was just a bad. Mainly because Olivia was so good at playing blue and just going wherever she had to go to make the joke work.
I have to stand up.
With
Fucking
Kevin,
back is spasming.
players. They would just be bat the offensive jokes back and forth and one-upping each other. And they could do that, and Candace couldn't do that. Because Candace's go-to was always the Kevin, I'm the sweet innocent virgin. And it didn't work. Because it would leave him sitting there like his joke just falls flat now because she didn't have the response to it. And that's when everything really started to kind of unravel, and they started tinkering with the format and saying we want it to be more
Yo, it's
and
the
he
Drunken
used the
Atheist
back
coming through the
door.
scene. Christ, how quickly living in this dream. Got the studio vibe with a dose of cream.
Can't do that.
Obviously, this is not an issue that is about partisanship or politics for certain leaders or for others.
So first of all, I just want to point out for everybody out there in the audience that Vice President Kamala Harris completely dodged the question right there. I know some of you might think she answered it, but if you pay attention to that answer, what she actually said was, listen, in this current crisis, I have called Democrat and Republican governors, they've taken the call. She starts to ramble a little bit. So it's a shame that Ronnie DeSantis is saying that I never called before, even though in my answer I'm saying I only started calling governors now at this moment in time. So what she's actually doing right here is confirming what Ron DeSantis said.
Hopefully that fixed it.
We have to have an agreement that at some point we all need to work together to combine resources, especially federal, state, and local resources around these kinds of disasters.
I just went to a chiropractor a few weeks ago to get this fixed. I guess it didn't work.
At the local level and other state governments. He'll take your call for president.
So of course that rambling nonsense answer ends with another cross line from Aaron Navarro saying that he'll take your call when he's president. And hopefully Kamala Harris, when she's president, would actually call the states that are impacted by these storms and actually respond. But Ron DeSantis addressed this absolutely perfectly on Fox News. He talked about how he worked well with the Trump administration and with the Biden administration and with FEMA, and it's actually been proven out by his record, by his time in office.
What the
that
fuck?
He hasn't taken the time to go after the Biden
Why'd the camera
administration in
freeze?
particular, when any of the other various storms hit the state of Florida. He's praised them.
The fuck?
constantly, So it comes off as more honest when he points out that Kamala Harris
Am I still
has
live?
called him before this. Not to mention, Kamala Harris basically admitted it by not answering the question directly that she never calls these people when the storms hit their place because she doesn't care that much. And she said for certain leaders it's political, for certain leaders it isn't. And Kamala
What the
Harris
fuck?
is in the category of leaders that it is political for.
And we've been laser focused on leveraging all resources available, including from the federal government. And I've been in touch with both FEMA and the president, as well as marshaling all our state agencies and working to support our local communities. And so for Kamala Harris to try to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish is delusional. She has no role in this. In fact, she's been vice president for 3.5 years. I've dealt with a number of storms under this administration. She has never contributed anything to any of these efforts. And so what I think is selfish is her trying to blunder into this. No, and here's the thing. She has no role. No, she has no role in this process. I'm in contact with the President of the United States. I'm in
What the
contact with FEMA
fuck?
director. I'm
I don't know if I'm
managing
even
all our
live.
state
Am I
agencies. We're
offline?
supporting all our local government. And I will say this. I've had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I've worked
Why
with
is this
both of them.
fucking
She's the first
happening?
one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly, and so she's playing these political games. I don't have time for political games. I've got people whose lives are on the line. I've got people whose homes and their possessions are on the line, and we are focused 100% on that mission. I'm not worried about playing her political games, and so she is being selfish, trying to blunder into this when we're working just fine.
So needless to say, Ron DeSantis absolutely demolished Kamala Harris, and this is one of the main problems that the Democrats have when they're going up against Ron DeSantis, is that the one thing that he's definitely good at, he's not the most charismatic guy, obviously not the best at running a presidential campaign, is governing, and governing for his state, and preparing for his emergencies like this, because if you can't prepare for this, you can't win a second term.
There we go.
Overwhelming
What the
majorities
fuck?
that DeSantis actually won with. And remember, we talked about a bridge that actually collapsed in the Florida Keys, and Ron DeSantis ended up getting that bridge rebuilt in 48 hours. That is not something that happens in the United States of America anymore, where we build things incredibly quickly, but Ron DeSantis, being an efficient governor, was able to do so. But in addition to this, DeSantis apparently invited Kamala Harris to come on this live conference call to talk about Florida, and that turned out to be a disaster as well, because Kamala Harris actually was getting fed questions by her
I
staff
fixed it.
live on air.
Big flood. We really got to watch those areas and those communities. So it takes quite a while for that water to drain.
Thank you very much.
Hey Ken, I have a question for you. You mentioned words matter.
I know there is a lot of media following this briefing.
Yeah, that's right. You can hear her saying it's a live broadcast. It's a live broadcast. to
Poor
herself
back.
in those communities. So
Before then trying to attempt a
Or
follow-up
men's
question. What an
liqueurs,
absolute
fine
embarrassment,
fashion.
considering that she was
I was like,
making the
dude,
case that she
again,
cares so
audience
hard
right
that
here.
she doesn't
You know,
even have the
jeans
questions
and a
at the ready
t-shirt
for the
and,
emergency
you know, or
people,
cargo
because
shorts.
it's all the show
You
for
know,
her and her
doesn't
staff,
care
but
about
they just
fashion,
feed
doesn't
her
care
the
about
answers
fine
like
liqueurs,
they
doesn't
always
drink,
do,
you
and
know.
hope that that will get her by,
You know,
but
just
just
give
like
me
when her
video games
teleprompter
and geek
failed,
culture,
she can't do it
you know,
without them.
and,
She can't
you know,
pay. Now, the next thing that
kind of
Kamala Harris decided that she
outrageous
was gonna
comment.
propose
Yeah.
on
It was a
the
bad
field was
fit.
that Medicare
The,
was going to
the
pay
whole
for
the whole
in-home
concept with
healthcare
Esquire, that was
for
just it
seniors,
just
and
wasn't
then
gonna work.
They were going to use the money that they save for negotiating with prescription drug companies in Medicare in order to pay for it. But the fact of the matter is, they're actually only negotiating the price on one drug. That's it. Maybe the program will expand further, but by the time
And,
they work
you
out
know,
the
it's just
negotiations
sad.
for the other 9 drugs that they're negotiating, the patents will expire and there will already be cheaper generic versions of those drugs out there. But what I find funny about this is that Kamala Harris said twice that the concerns
The
of
whole
elderly
concept with
people are
Esquire, that
eating
was
the
just
food that
it
they
just wasn't
like
gonna work.
and wearing
But no, that's why
bright
it was beautiful when
clothing
it
or
failed. I mean, I felt bad because some people did get to stay on and work Esquire Network, so I felt bad for them when it went away and now they were all unemployed, you know, just like we were. But still, it was fitting, yeah, to see it go because, you know, it was just crazy the way the whole thing happened. And then even like in the documentary, they kind of played time a little bit, but you know, they made it sound like G4 went under and then, you know, Esquire came right out of that, but it actually didn't. You know, G4 just kept lingering in limbo for 2 years, and then when they did go to launch Esquire 2 weeks before, they suddenly changed it so that they were going to kill Style Network and then make that Esquire channel because they said, why have 2 fashion channels? So we all got hopeful, like, oh, maybe they're going to bring back G4, you know, and but then that went away, and then they just killed the channel altogether. And I was getting emails the last night because my friend Brian worked in the master control, and he was sending me messages with like the log sheets, you know, for that night that just had like G4 on it and then said like off air, you know, after like 9 o'clock Western time, Pacific Coast time. And, you know, it's just sad.
You former G4 TV production people, all the former employees, you guys are like beating dogs. Your hopes keep getting put up, ripped away.
Yeah.
But she sucks at it. She's painting with
I mean,
her
like
off hand. It's absolutely terrible. So all you get is these cheesy, like, oh, I'm trying to relate to you thing, which only shows us how disconnected she actually is. And by the way, Kamala Harris's failures are reflected in the polling.
Graphics designers either. They didn't have a sound guy. They didn't have, and the assistant director, the director's most, or the floor, I'm sorry, the stage man.
That actually overestimated Joe Biden's support by as much as 6 points in the swing states that are showing Trump gaining ground or outright in the lead. Now, of course, that doesn't matter if people don't get out and vote on election
Where it was
day,
like, oh, wait a minute.
if they're in
Yeah, that was bad.
You should do
Well,
early voting if it's available to you, because the fact of the matter is, anything can change. October surprise, all of that, and what you need to do is get out and vote if you actually want the outcome of
Relaunch
Kamala
special
Harris
where it was like,
losing.
oh,
And if
wait
you
a
want
minute.
Kamala Harris
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
because
was bad.
then
Well,
don't vote, because that will work just as well. I'm just kidding, people. It's comedy. If you want your candidate to
in
win,
one
you have to
day.
vote, no matter who the candidate is. But
Oh,
if you're an evil Orange Man supporter and you know
Yeah,
some evil
because
Orange Man supporters, make sure
you know,
get them
it
out
was a
to
tough,
vote for
you know,
early voting,
position.
specifically if you're in the swing states.
Like
if
on the
you want
one
the evil
hand,
Orange Man to win. But
God, I
she
got
was
something in my
absolutely
fucking
different.
eye.
Opinions about how these media appearances went. This is just
G4.
my
Yeah.
analysis,
You
but
know,
I
I agree.
don't know what you guys think
My
about
issues
it in
with
the
her.
comments below. If you like the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content.
Sorry if I'm
Follow
being
the social
dramatic.
media, support me via the support links in the description of this video.
Ow, it's still in there.
Kamala
Fuck.
Harris bombing at
I think
the
it's an eyelash. It's sharp.
next time.
Ow, ow, ow.
Okay, Tim, time to take the stage, buddy. I'll be in your ear the whole time. You got this. Go get him. All right, Tim, shake his hand. He kind of pulled you in there like Trump does. That's sort of a boss move. Oh, Vance is going to shake the hands of the moderators. Tim,
Oh,
just
yeah.
stand at the
Yeah.
podium
I agree.
by yourself.
My-
Hold your hands in front of your crotch. Big smile. Off to a pretty good start. Hi, I'm Tim Walz's debate coach. I not only prepared Tim for the debate, but during the debate, I was hiding backstage giving Tim instructions right into his earpiece.
Because I had
telling
come
him
across
what
that
to
with
say
movie.
and what to deal with his body language.
I'm like, yeah, you did the one thing I didn't want you to do, which was ruin our
Here,
legacy.
she's gonna throw
Yeah,
the
which
first
is all we
question
had.
your way. With
You
your
know,
answer, just be clear and precise.
So I've become friends with school shooters.
Well done, Tim. Hit a home run right there. Okay, Tim, the next question she's going to ask you is about the poll supporting mass deportation. Now remember, you've been instructed to be against mass deportation, so you got to come through strong on this. Go.
Look,
TV production people, all the former employees, you guys are like beating dogs. Your hopes keep getting put up.
Now, because you're making this up as
No
we go,
way.
let's get some
yeah, I mean,
really
like
exaggerated
I'm sorry,
political
the
things
day
in there.
that
Kinda like
they
you're
announced that it was
pleading
coming
for
back,
people to
you know, during
now we'll
COVID,
create stories to bring
and everybody
attention
was
to this.
so excited,
George,
and
you're
I
strong
had
as
people
always, Tim. Now, to be more
all over the
critical,
place
let's get
asking
some
me,
shoulder shrugging
how can I get
going
in?
to let
How can I
people
get
know
in?
you're insecure
And
with what you're saying.
That vilified a large number of people who were here legally.
yeah, so they were
They
asking
didn't
me
do
how
the
they could get in.
This is your best work, Tim. Now let's open your eyes super wide like you're terrified.
Me,
law enforcement
how can I get in?
escort
How can I get in?
kindergartners to school.
Fantastic. Now we're gonna have to land the plane now, Tim.
All
so
over the
bring it
place
home by
asking
holding
me,
intense eye
how can I
contact with
get
the
in?
Moderators. Let your eyes dart up and to the left, and then stop speaking abruptly and look immediately at Vance like you're trying to get his approval because he's the alpha male in the room.
How can I get in? And
it becomes a talking point like this.
right,
will dehumanize and villainize other human beings.
Crushed it.
First of all, the gross majority of what we need to do at the southern border is just empowering law enforcement to do their job. I've been to the southern border more than our borders are.
No way.
yeah, I mean, like I'm sorry, the day that they announced that it was coming back, you know, during COVID,
Just won back a lot of
and
votes
everybody
right
was
there.
so excited, and I had people
Okay, now
all over the
look
place
down.
asking me,
Good. And
how
you're
can I
gonna
get in?
forehead like
Yeah,
you're
so they were asking me
Erratically
how I could get in, you know, and do it. I'm like,
back at Vance. But Tim, it's gotta be
place
abrupt
asking
and
me,
awkward.
how can I get in? Yeah, so they were asking me how they could get in, you know, and do it. I'm like, hey, I haven't been rehired yet,
And that comes across super well.
you know, and do it. I'm like,
Draw penis on your notepad. Now back to Vance. That's enough. Look back down and draw the testicles in now. Look back to Vance, but look like you have to poop. Shuffle your feet nervously.
Getting
No,
put
look
up.
back to Vance. Do not look at
No
the
way.
moderators.
yeah, I
They
mean,
can't
like
help you,
I'm sorry,
Tim.
the
Look
day
back.
that
Looking at you.
they
Close.
I actually think, I agree with you. I think you want to solve this problem, but I don't think that Kamala Harris does.
And you're doing great, buddy.
But I didn't accuse Kamala Harris of inviting drug mules. I said that she enabled the Mexican
Yeah, just nod your head in agreement
to
with
operate.
Vance.
Keep getting put up.
And we know that they use children
No
as
way.
drug mules.
yeah, I
It
mean,
is a
like
disgrace,
I'm sorry,
and it
the
has to
day
stop.
that
It is not
they
easy to
announced
make
that
an
it was coming
unlikable
back,
guy
you know, during
look
COVID,
likable. But with
and everybody
Tim,
was so excited,
I think
and
was
I
able to
had
make him
people
look like he was really trying.
all over the place
So the
asking
debate,
me,
great
how can I get in?
success.
You know, and
Tim
do it. I'm
knocked
like, hey, I
out the
haven't
park.
been rehired yet. Yeah, don't get too
Well,
excited.
there's no question things are heating
I said,
up
I
in the
don't even
world
know if
and
I'm
a
going.
little stressful. The only
So,
question is,
but I did
what
have
are you
talks
gonna
with
do
them.
about it? Are you gonna be
It was
helpless
just,
to all this stress, or
I
are
think
you
it was
gonna
about 6 weeks
proactively
before they
take control
relaunched,
and do something
and we
about
were
it?
talking, and I had already
Personally, I
started
think
my
being
disabilities.
helpless is a little
So
pathetic, so
at that point, I
choose
didn't
to
even
take
know if I'd be
control,
able to
and
go.
one of the ways
Yeah,
I
I didn't know if I'd
help
be able to
relieve
handle
my
it.
stress is through the
But
power of my
I said, let's see how far this goes. Let's see how serious they
This
get
is
about
my
me coming
favorite
back,
way to
and then I can
sauna,
make a
and
decision.
there's so
You know, if I
many
think I can
additional
try it.
challenges that infrared saunas help with.
But
Like, have you ever
I had
thought
the
to
interview
yourself,
and talked with
I
them,
am a
and there were some
toxic,
really interesting things they
body
talked about that
positive,
sounded
low
good, that they
energy
killed
person?
by the time they
You're in luck
relaunched.
because the Bond
And
Charge
then the
infrared
fact
sauna
that like they
blanket
didn't have
helps
a
with
crew,
that.
they
It's
didn't know
incredible
which
for
shows were coming back.
detoxification,
They didn't
boosting
know
your
what the
energy,
schedule was
boosting
going to
your metabolism,
there
and turning
there
back
was
the clock.
just,
This bad
you know,
boy
it just
is
was
super
very disordered.
powerful and it heats up
And
super
you know, they
fast.
wasted
I do
my time,
infrared
3
sauna
weeks,
sessions 3
you know,
days a
without telling
week,
me that,
and the
yeah,
Bond
we
Charge
don't
infrared
plan to
sauna
bring you back,
blanket is
you
the
know.
only way
And
I can
instead
do it
they were
because
going to
it's the
hire
most
a guy who
cost-effective,
had no
convenient way
experience
to
as a
do it.
technical
You
director.
just roll
One of
it
the most
out,
critical
use
positions
it,
on the
wipe
show.
it down when you're
Yeah.
done. And if you
And
like
it
that,
wasn't
you can
as
see
critical
my
as when I
Bond
did it
Charge
because they
products
weren't
are
expecting the technical
BKSA
director to come up with all the magic the way I had to. Yeah, they were going to have the graphics designers do a lot of it, but they didn't have graphics designers either. They didn't have a sound guy. They didn't have, and the assistant director, the director's most, or the floor, I'm sorry, the stage manager, because the director was not going to have an assistant director. The director was going to be doing both jobs.
Enjoy.
And the stage manager, along with the technical director, is one of the most critical, you know, people to the director under those circumstances. Had no assistant directing experience.
A professor at the
Yeah,
university.
so you had the TD and the stage manager both had no idea what they were doing. And Yeah, so I was hearing.
Refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. You can line all those guys up, and they clearly don't understand the way the world works. Did I say that? Scratch that from the recording. I don't want the deans hearing that I said.
And the replies were filled with, I'd vote for a female president. Kamala's just not one of them, because her policies are terrible, and more importantly, she's incapable of doing the job. Also pointing out how the professor knew he was being
Jeez, everything that is playing. The goddamn fucking YouTube app will never cease with the fuckery all goddamn night.
And the professor tells you, comply or die. So for the sake of a simple thought exercise,
Fucking work.
you were a weak-willed individual, completely controlled by your emotions, that only feels comfortable within a group that completely validates every single value you have. And if you were in that fearful voter group, it would actually be pretty easy to manipulate you into acting like a cornered animal. Meanwhile, everybody in the middle just wants to turn down the political temperature. As once you get off the internet and interact with real people outside, 99% of the time, politics never comes up. We work together, play sports together, and even hook up with each other without knowing it. The problem being, even our establishments are trying to perpetuate this angry, divisive behavior. As the last Twitter post from the University of Kansas got bombarded with outrage replies about that professor. And when asked about it, the university stated this happened earlier this semester. So on their public post, they admitted it was inappropriate, putting him on leave. But since his intent was for women's rights and equality, they will follow their established process, turning off replies to their comments.
I heard that they might break up Google. That sounds fantastic. Maybe they can get somebody to work on their products that isn't a complete R-slur. Is that for your client, J-Lag, in the Twitch chat? It is for a client. I am the editor. Holy shit, that scared me. I am the editor of the Culture Skate podcast with Pete Pishke.
While these universities conveniently look the other way. So if you appreciate my concise, might order comments.
He is the host. This is his guest. And this is a 3-hour and 10-minute interview.
Won't let Kamala do interviews anymore.
I followed, but it didn't pop up. What didn't pop up?
It's actually sort of mind-blowing that Sony thought remaking and selling an interactive movie was going to make them a boatload of cash, and the exact opposite has happened because Until Dawn on PS5 has debuted.
Connect to the goddamn Wi-Fi YouTube app.
Is struggling when it comes to user scores because of how disappointed gamers are. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through
Fucking
Patreon
finally.
or YouTube memberships. Now, I love a good interactive movie. I love being able to sit back, relax, just make impactful decisions in a game.
Infuriating.
Sometimes, sure.
I've already had to Okay, fixed it.
Now you did the one thing I didn't want you to do, which was ruin our legacy. Yeah, which is all we
The
had.
follow pop-up when someone followed you. It should show on your screen.
I don't
yeah,
disagree,
you know,
'cause
I have something set up like that through, I have like Streamlabs settings set up that when people follow or sub on YouTube, it'll blast a notification on screen, but it doesn't always work. This is something I set up like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't even remember how I'm doing it. Oh, you're editing too? Nice.
I think the discussions that we both saw, many people.
This guy was a big player with the video game channel G4 back in the day, and that's what a lot of this interview is about.
Which was ruin our legacy. Yeah, which is all we had. But it didn't cause the downfall of G4.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
My issues with her were just more when it was restarting. I was fearful for what they were going to do to our legacy because there was a lot of love and fandom. You know, anybody I ever came across that I said I had worked at G4 just went crazy because of how much they loved G4, they loved Attack of the Show, they loved X-Play, they loved Kevin and Olivia. And
what are
Morgan
you
and Adam.
editing, J-Lag?
And, you know, it was like people felt like it was something very precious to them that had been taken away too soon. And I felt that if they did it wrong, they were going to tarnish that legacy. Yeah, and, you know, because I had come across that with movies that I loved as a kid. And when I went back and rewatched them as an adult, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't as great as I thought it was. And when Frost did what she did, out of anger and resentment, a lot of those fans started saying, you know what, maybe Attack of the Show wasn't as cool as I thought it was.
Oh, no.
And I was like, now I was. I'm like, now you did the one thing I didn't want you to do, which was ruin our legacy. Yeah, which is all we had, you know.
Okay, I need to take this part. This is definitely going in the intro.
And, you know, it was...
I work for some real estate, but not... I'm looking for another client because I finished the contract. Word up.
Like, people felt like it was something very precious to them that had been taken away too soon.
How do you find your clients? I found all of mine just through networking and Twitter and stuff, and some of them I've just like dumb lucked into. Like, it was just right place, right time. This is the 47th episode of Culturescape that I'm doing. I'm almost to 50 episodes. And I just started doing freelance stuff right at a time that Pete was looking for an editor. Man, I am really getting distracted with everything in the room. But I have to fix my drink now. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom.
Yo, it's the Drunken Atheist coming through the scene. Christ, how wiki, living in this dream. Got the studio vibe with a dose of green. Talking on drugs, man, it's quite a routine. Feeling on the mic with a style so raw. Got the late night stream, you knew the deal. Y'all passing out on live like Rakida's Law. Degenerate behavior, it's the wildest draw. Drunken Atheist Studio, party every night. Chris, Halloween is living in a
You're in Luffy, what are you doing?
Late night, 5 minutes out of sight. Stream never drink with the gas or followers. Gets fucked up, stories get involved. From the base to laugh, the content's low. Never in the wildness, never do what you're told. Every podcast is a ride.
I'm trying now to go Instagram to search
You're
some
watching
hiring
Gab
editors.
streaming. Chris has had 1,000 beers. Psilocybin mushrooms make it crystal clear. He ain't never gonna stop.
I think you posted it the other day or something.
Studio party every night.
Get it off the
Christ, Halloween's living it. I'm feeling so right. Mixing acid with Molly under laser lights. Late night, 5 minutes out of sight. So raise your glass high to the man of the hour. Christ and crew got that unfiltered power.
Oh, it's the White House? Didn't it say Sweden?
Degenerate and wild, they'll never cower.
Alright, I gotta fix my drink. 1 second. Enough H's. I already did enough. Oh wait, yeah, you can do them because I don't think that shows up on the Kick chat. I did it in a different chat box.
know. It's a drunken atheist coming through the scene. Christ hella wiki, living out his dream. Got the studio vibe with a dose of green. Drunken on drugs, man, it's quite the routine. Chilling on the mic with a style so raw. Got that late night stream. You know the deal, y'all. Pissing out on live like Rakitas. Raw, degenerate behavior's the wildest draw. Drunken atheist studio party every night. Chris Holloway's lifting it up, feeling so right. Mix the drugs and booze and the laser lights. Late night vibes, man, it's out of sight. Click a stream, grab a drink, watch shit unfold. Chris gets fucked up, shaking like he cold. From bits to streams, the content's cold. Diving into wildness, never do what you're told. Drunken Atheist Studio party every night. Christ Hollow rookies living it up, feeling so right. Mixing drugs and booze and the laser lights. Late night vibes, man, it's out of sight. Click that stream, grab a drink, watch shit unfold. Chris gets fucked up, shaking like he cold. From bits to streams, the content's cold. Diving into wildness, never do what you're told. Every broadcast is a ride full of twisted cheer. You're watching that stream and Chris has drank 100 beers. Psilocybin mushrooms make it crystal clear. He never gonna stop. How about one drunk off the motherfucking year? Drunken Atheist Studio party every night. Chris Holloway's living it up, feeling so right. Mixing acid with Molly under laser lights. Late night vibes, man, it's out of sight. So raise your glass high to the man of the hour. Christ Holloway got the motherfucking sour. Christ Holloway got the motherfucking power. Christ Holloway gotta throw you off a tower.
It's not a diss track on myself. It is it's just stuff that I typed into chat GPT about my content, and then it made the lyrics for me, and then I put it into an AI song maker, and it spit out this stuff. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's why AI music sucks. Or it's just like, I had to seriously, I had to make 25, 30 tracks just to find 3 that I liked. Oh yeah, this is AI. An app that I downloaded on my phone made all the songs. But the lyrics are ChatGPT, but then I altered a lot of them. It's pretty neat. I mean, for dubstep, I think it works perfectly because I'm using this electronic music. Like, I think that it like sounds legit and hard to tell if it's generic with dubstep. Yeah. Make the diss track on the biggest troll, your biggest fan, the one. Oh, come on, jeez. Oh no. I don't know why you're choosing to have a rivalry with other people in the chat, Yuri.
Until Dawn is one of those games that keeps showing up on what feels like every single Sony console that ever exists and will exist moving forward for eternity. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Sony themselves decided to, for whatever reason, put a whole bunch of money into not just porting a game to the PlayStation 5 for people to be able to play it and access it, but instead give it the full remake treatment.
147.10.
Price tag of $60 USD, the full retail price. For whatever reason, Sony did the number crunching and felt like that was the better idea instead of just putting the game out again on the PlayStation 5 and saying, yeah, it's the definitive version. It's got like sharper lines on the people's faces. Which is what
Yuri Luffy, you disappear without saying goodbye every time you've been in the chat. Sometimes you'll pop in, you'll say 3 things, and then I'll respond, and then you're just ghost for the rest of the stream.
the game is now available for people to purchase, and the Steam numbers are there, and my goodness, this is not pretty. Hit that subscribe, give me a like.
I do appreciate when people say bye, though, because then I'm not just like, hey, are you still there? One of the 2 people watching me? Or
PC remake is having a very rough launch. It's scarier than the game itself.
Oh yeah. Maybe I missed the emote.
A rough reception with numerous issues that have left gamers very disappointed, to say the least. Not only has the remake launched with technical bugs, but the player numbers on Steam are alarmingly low compared to the PlayStation exclusives that have successfully transitioned to PC, like God
Thank you.
Database, the game has peaked at just 2,607 people concurrently playing the game. A figure that looks great when you compare it to Concord or Dustborn, but in all seriousness, this is a game that Sony looked to make some money off of, have some attention with, get some sort of audience behind it. Something along the lines of maybe not God of War or Ghost of Tsushima, like I mentioned earlier, where they had over 70,000 concurrent players when it launched and how people were all about those games, but maybe Ragnarok, 35,000 would look pretty good for a max concurrent. Something around those numbers. I think Sony might be like, we would have wanted better, but this is a good start, and maybe we can make some money on this in the long run if these numbers keep up. But no, 2,607 people at launch. And while we don't have the numbers for the game's actual budget at this time, rumors are suggesting that it was not cheap. I've seen a lot of people crunching the numbers, looking at the people putting the game together, everything that went into it, and potentially seeing numbers as high as, I've seen $30 to $50 million type thing. And if that's anywhere close to being the case, they are going to be losing their shirt on this. Well, maybe not the Concord shirt, but still, this is going to be losing
Too long.
a ton of money for Sony. And it makes you wonder, how can they keep doing this? How can they keep losing this kind of money on these games? Who is making the decisions for them in the first place? If I was in charge of Sony and they came to me with, hey, we got an idea, we want to remake this game, we already have it, it's a property of ours, we can just, update the graphics.
Perfect.
Make it look nicer, and it's going to cost us a few million, maybe 10, 15, 20, and the budget blows to 25, 30 million, but we feel like it's going to make
Did
that
you say the
back.
F word, Pete?
I'd say, how? Who's the player base for this? And it's the type of game where you play it once,
I think he says cluster buck, but you know what? I'm gonna bleep him.
potentially new buyers, but wouldn't they just buy the cheaper version if we're going to be charging more? None of this makes sense. But let's dive into why.
Should I bleep Pete? I don't think Pete's ever said fuck on the show before, but I can make it seem like he did.
Checking into the actual reasons why gamers aren't picking up on this game is
I don't know if he'll think it's funny though.
about it on Saturday Night Hypnosis, where Hypnotic brought up a comparison video showing specifically not just the graphical quote-unquote upgrades, if you want to call it that, because many would look at this and say that downgrades, and in some cases, tremendous downgrades.
Let's do it just for fun. I could always take it out later.
What I took out of this was the lighting and how it's basically like bright. It feels like it's daytime compared to the original version that has a dark, creepy, gloomy outlook. The atmosphere is everything in a game like this, and they took it away to give enhancements to lighting to make it look better instead of actually being creeped out by the game itself. It's almost like the developers forgot that this was a horror game.
Party during the scene, it's between 10 and 11 at night. So where's all the fucking light coming from? 10 and 11 at night.
It looks like there's forest fires going on the right.
Yeah, on the left, I'm think of it from a point of view, if you're sitting in a theater and you're seeing this scene play out, sure, they might be having a pleasant conversation. Like Smash JT said, the ambience, the lighting, and the setting just don't match with what we're trying to do with the narrative.
On top of that, there are frame rate issues where it often drops below what the PS4 version even had, and then people are complaining about bugs and glitches. The game itself is just all around not as good. It doesn't look as good. It doesn't play as good. There's shading problems and a ton of other things going wrong with this game, on top of the full price MSRP when you can literally go to the PlayStation Store and buy the PS4 version for $20. A developer from the original Until Dawn chimed in Hypnotic's comment section, trying to defend the remake and explain away the lighting differences. And he said to him, hey, I worked on the original Until Dawn. The original was made with Guerrilla Games' Killzone Shadowfall engine before it became Decima. Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding. This remake was made by Ballistic Moon. They ported all the assets to Unreal Engine 5, hence the remake, as it's a completely new engine. This means all lighting, camera work, and cinematics had to be redone. Making stuff in Unreal Engine is very difficult, so a direct translation is almost impossible, but they gave it a go. That said, there are some creative liberties taken.
Oh, the desktop isn't on. You can't even hear.
Just a giant clusterfuck. And it's really sad because it goes back, like I said, Kevin Pereira. That dude, he had tried to move. It's such a giant. It's such a just a giant clusterfuck. And it's really sad because it goes back, like I said, Kevin Pereira. That dude, he had tried to move heaven and earth to make G4 TV again a thing. He had everything going on with YouTube and.
We have no idea what we're doing here. The early game lighting change can be explained simply, and perhaps I can explain some of their thinking.
Move heaven and earth to make G4 TV again a thing. He had everything going on with YouTube and the botting, and I mean, he had really tried, and it didn't happen. Just didn't happen.
Also, like, you know,
and it didn't happen.
Rid of it because we wanted it unnerving from the get-go. So it looks like they reverted it back to the original idea, which it obviously looks like is what they did. They brought in a whole bunch of sunlight to make it a brighter, less gloomy outlook for at least the beginning portion of the game, which completely removes the unnerving
Bleep both of them? Cluster isn't a swear, though.
People on the inside.
It'll make it seem like he said like a much worse swear, though. Because people be like, wait, what did he say?
So I tell him, and like the night of the layoff, you know, that was the day she posted up the picture with the gecko, you know, and the cigarette with the crown, and said, "I survived." You know,
this is still a highly recommended game. The problem is it costs 3 times as much
With YouTube and the botting, and I mean, he had really tried, and it didn't happen.
Well, also, like, you know, because he was kind
half the frame rate of the predecessor when played using PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility, and they gave it a 6 out of 10 or a 60 overall score, which is
YouTube and the botting.
modern era of gaming.
Sports show, but we're not allowed to show footage
Yeah.
of esports. That does make it a little difficult.
Time out. Are there multiple Yuri Luffy's here? Because why are you saying good morning now? What the fuck is going on here? What? Where's the chat in Kick? The Kick chat's missing all of a sudden. Are you chatting on a different platform?
And here's the thing, if they maybe gave it an upgrade path and did the right thing to the consumer, saying,
Where's my chat?
understand you own the original, you can put it in, we can check the disc and say, okay, you have it, we'll give you an upgrade path, just put that disc in every time you want to play it, and it'll be $10, just like they did with Horizon Zero Dawn and the remaster on that, and it's fine.
Your chat isn't showing up on my channel anymore. What the fuck is going on?
But no, Sony was like, yeah, no, we're not even going to give that option, just pay the full $60 price tag on this game where you can get the original for $20. And
Maybe it's because of too many H's. Maybe it puts you in timeout automatically or something.
I saw very little that made me enticed to purchase the updated version. If anything, this sold me on playing the original version, which I have and still have not played yet. All I need to do is look at the reviews, compare them together, and say, why would I pay $60 for a game that looks worse than its predecessor?
Well, that's fucked up. Well, it's showing up on my plugin. I just don't see it on Kick.
This game right now. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information on Until Dawn's remake, check out SmashJT.com. I will link this article in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Look at the comparison.
The joke was already made, but again, it feels like it's already dawn. Like, it's so bright. A joke's not old. It's still, every time you tell this, it feels like
Somebody threw a fucking flashbang into the area. So what's happening here? I don't understand.
Well, hopefully it corrects itself. It's not my fault. I've done nothing. I've done nothing.
Listen to women, as women are people too. Unless, of course,
You were the one who started spamming H. Yeah, but that was on the other two platforms.
in that situation,
it's such a giant, it's such a just a giant clusterfuck. And it's really sad because it goes back, like I said, Kevin Pereira, that dude, he had tried to move heaven and earth to make G4 TV again a thing. He had everything going on with YouTube and the botting, and I mean, he had really tried, and it didn't happen.
Well, also, like, because he was kind of the face of, between the two channels, he was the face of the whole thing. And, so when it goes bad, obviously he feels very self-conscious about it. Like it's a reflection on him. And, but he had no control, that whole, Frost thing. I mean, like, I knew all about that, like, as soon as I got caught up to speed on when it happened, I had people on the inside telling me. And, like, the night of the layoff, that was the day she posted up the picture with the gecko, and the cigarette with the crown, and said, "I survived."
It's kind of funny, but it was bad timing. Very bad timing.
It was just toned.
Fellow gaming aficionados, but supposedly for attention from men. The insinuation? That my opinions are as authentic as a $3 bill, tailored not from conviction.
Because, like, I totally got right away what she was doing. She wasn't making fun of the people who got laid off. She was making fun of the people that hate her, and would expect her to get laid off.
A nefarious plot, but fear not.
And would expect her to get laid off. But it was tone deaf to do that with all the people who just got laid off. But that night, I got a call from somebody on the inside who told me the whole story there. And they said, first of all, that whole bit, with the second...
opinions that they don't agree with. Preposterous.
The botting, and I mean, he had really tried, and it didn't happen.
Well, also, like, because he was kind of the face of, between the two channels, he was the face of the whole thing. And, so when it goes bad, obviously he feels very self-conscious about it. Like it's a reflection on him. And, but he had no control. That whole, Frost thing. I mean, like, I knew all about that, like, as soon as I got caught up to speed on when it happened, I had people on the inside telling me. And, like, the night of the layoff, that was the day she posted up the picture with the gecko, and the cigarette with the crown, and said, "I survived."
It's kind of funny, but it was bad timing. Very bad timing.
It was just tone deaf because, like, I totally got right away what she was doing. She was.
Bloody love them, and they've been a part of my life for as long as
It's kind of funny, but it was bad timing. Very bad timing.
It was just tone deaf because, like,
One of my earliest jobs was working at a game station, a now defunct chain of stores that was similar to GameStop in the United States. Back then, I passed the interview competing with lots of other young people looking for a Saturday job. I was told I beat the other applicants due to demonstrating a passion and knowledge for gaming that was superior to the others going for the role. In fact, I was successfully awarded the job role over my two mates who also applied too, but back then no one ever referred to me as being a pick-me for being into video games at the time.
The gecko, and the cigarette with the crown, and said, "I survived."
What's name?
It's kind of funny, but it was bad timing.
Yeah, it was just tone deaf because, like, I totally got right away what she was doing. She wasn't making fun of the people who got laid off. She was making fun of the people that hate her.
This guy's name is Chris Flynn.
And would expect her to get laid off. But it was tone deaf to do that with all the people who just got
Chris Flynn. The host is Pete Pischke from the Newsweek. He's a journalist.
Off. But that night, I got a call from somebody on the inside who told me the whole story there. And they said, first of all, that whole bit, with the sexism in gaming, that was her and two of the producers, that basically said, we need to kind of shake things up. We need the fans all riled up. And this was something that they had apparently done in esports, where, like, offend the audience and then get them all paying attention and watching the show, and you build the audience, which was a horrible idea because that may have worked in that esports, but any of us who had worked in G4 who used to spend time on the forums, and of course before YouTube and all those, the G4 forum was where you got all your feedback, and I would be in there all the time under a fake ID, and listening to stuff, because sometimes they'd get upset about something and they'd start throwing accusations at somebody on the show, and I would be like, well, I've worked in television a long time, I can't say specifically, but this is kind of how this would normally work. So, like the infamous Halo 3 trailer debacle at E3, where there was such a build-up to the Halo 3 trailer, and we get to it in the Microsoft press conference, and then like 30 seconds in, we get told a commercial break. And I think Adam talked about it in your interview. I told the whole story for Attack of the Dock, and it got cut, and I think I know why it got cut. And I heard the other side of the story for the first time in the extended interviews from somebody who was involved in that, where I did understand now there was a whole other side to that story, as to why they had to go to commercial break, their contractual obligations with legal stuff.
Everyone's taste, so grab a shopping list of bargains. The point is that to this day, I love video games. I love playing them. I
Their
love
contractual
talking about
obligations
them, I
with
love
legal
selling them.
stuff.
So
We had to go.
why would I not take the opportunity to do all of these things at once on this platform? It was common sense to do this based on everything I was into.
Be the director's
before
call.
YouTube or social media influencers, for that matter, even existed. But to some watching, they have just dehumanized me to a content creating pick-me girl. I've come to understand that the assumptions about my views on gaming aren't solely just because I'm a woman who enjoys games. It's much more nuanced than that. It's because as a woman in the gaming community who holds differing political views from certain people, to fit their narrative of the world, they write my thoughts off as inauthentic or label me as a pick-me girl, since I don't subscribe to the predominant narratives pushed by the increasingly predatory and self-absorbed modern gaming industry.
To make G4 TV again a thing. He had everything going on with YouTube and the botting, and I mean, he had really tried, and it didn't happen.
Well, also, because he was kind of the face of, between the two channels, he was the face of the whole thing. And, so when it goes bad, obviously he feels very self-conscious about it. Like it's a reflection on him. And, but he had no control, that whole, Frost thing. I mean, I knew all about that, as soon as I got caught up to speed on what had happened, I had people on the inside telling me. And, the night of the layoff, that was the day she posted up the picture with the gecko, and the cigarette with the crown, and said, "I survived."
It's kind of funny, but it was bad timing.
Yeah, it was just tone deaf, because I totally got right away what she was doing. She wasn't making fun of the people who got laid off. She was making fun of the people that hate her, and would expect her to get laid off. But it was tone deaf to do that with all the people who just got laid off. But that night, I got a call from somebody on the inside who told me the whole story there. And they said, first of all, that whole bit, with the sexism in gaming, that was her and two of the producers, that basically said, we need to kind of shake things up. We need the fans all riled up. And this was something that they had apparently done in esports, where, offend the audience and then get them all paying attention and watching the show, and you build the audience, which was a horrible idea, because that may have worked in that esports. But any of us who had worked at G4, who used to spend time on the forums, and of course before YouTube and all those, the G4 forum was where you got all your feedback. And I would be in there all the time under a fake ID, and listening to stuff, because sometimes they'd get upset about something and they'd start throwing accusations at somebody on the show, and I would be like, well, I've worked in television a long time, I can't say specifically, but this is kind of how this would normally work. So, the infamous Halo 3 trailer debacle at E3, where there was such a build-up to the Halo 3 trailer, and we get to it in the Microsoft press conference, and then 30 seconds in, we get told a commercial break. And I think Adam talked about it in your interview. I told the whole story for Attack of the Dock, and it got cut, and I think I know why it got cut. And I heard the other side of the story for the first time in the extended interviews from somebody who was involved in that, where I did understand now there was a whole other side.
And acceptance. Could the truth be that these people aren't as tolerant and as accepting as they believe they
Yeah, I
are.
do have a phobia of boring lamps.
I did that story, as to why they had to go to commercial break, their contractual obligations was legal stuff. We had to go to break. But being in the control room for that, when they're telling Adam, you've got to go to break, and Adam is screaming, I am not going to break, you're not going to break, this is going to be an embarrassment, this is going to... And then the producer, with kind of a high-pitched voice when he got upset, or the executive, and he screamed back, because he found out he was being challenged. That, in the end, Adam's a host. He's the executive. He's saying, go to break, you got to go to break. And so the two of them are screaming at each other, from the control room out to the Microsoft press conference, and it's all, just tell him to shut up and go to break. And at the end, it's going on and on, and we're sitting in the control room like, oh man, what's going on? And then we had a fill-in director who came from E-News, because our director, Genji, was out on site doing Ubisoft press conference. So Fred was filling in from the east side, and he just agreed to do it to help out, and thought it would be fun. And now all of a sudden they were giving death threats from the G4 They not only should be fired, should be killed. And so I'm going in there saying, well, as someone who's worked in television for a long time, that would not typically be the director's call. That would be someone in ad sales or an executive. I was trying to say this, and doing so. That was a really rough day.
The internet hates that. In my experience, the internet hates when the actual person with the
Why would I not be trying my best to keep
actual person with the information, like they were there, and they're like they don't like that. They don't like that. The internet likes many things, but they just have to, like, people are like there who can tell the truth. Maybe because it's less interesting, or
we've seen what happens if you create products that appeal to no one, and it's the reason why shows like The Acolyte flopped. And
Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep yawning.
Fired now because of this. So but that was those experience with those forums. I could have told them that idea that, hey, we're going to piss off the audience, the sexism and gaming thing, was not going to work, and it would never be forgiven. And the three, between the three of them, they did a
There is nothing wrong, and there's never been anything wrong with
bunch of things there that I found out over time just were bad like that, and were some of the most cringeworthy moments on New G4, and it was really just down to them, just not knowing what they were doing, and their own egos and stuff like that. But and they knew the company was going to fail anyway, because they had no idea how to save it. And they decided, we're going to keep her on so that we can blame her when it fails. Because I kept saying, why are they not letting her when it fails? Because they just stop,
To me, the whole idea of calling someone a pick-me-girl just undermines women's choices, promotes a different kind of misogyny, and the same thing that these grandstanders claim
just stop,
and undermines the very values that these so-called progressives claim to support. Women should be able to voice their opinions in the gaming space without having them shut down due to not fitting into a specific progressive agenda. The idea that there is only one
felt bad to hear,
way for
how much of an impact it had.
areas like gaming is not only restrictive but harmful. Progressives claim to be fighting for women's rights and representation, yet they often silence women who don't conform to their narrative. This, to me, is the height of hypocrisy. Women should have the freedom to participate in gaming or any space, speak their minds, and behave
they don't like that.
how
They don't like that. The internet likes many things, but they don't actually like people are like there who can tell the truth. Maybe because it's less
So how is it
interesting.
going with taking walks?
I think usually
I haven't been doing that.
Because I pretended to be someone who's just a fan, who, didn't know the specifics of what went on. I just knew that. That's not typically how it works. But I also didn't want them to kill Fred. Yeah.
Feminist detected. Mute her out of the podcast. She's on my television. I don't know if I would call this lady a feminist. She's talking about how progressives, she's siding with some things, like debates in the video game sphere, and then SJWs and progressives, who sit on the internet all day calling people sexist and stuff, call this girl a pick-me because she doesn't have the right opinion about something. So then they go and turn around. If they're such hypocrites, it's like, if you don't agree with us, we're gonna be more sexist than anyone we accused.
The poor guy's just filling in, you know. He's like, what the hell happened? Am I going to get fired now because of this? So, yeah, but that was the experience with those four. I could have told them that idea that, hey, we're going to piss off the audience, the sexism and gaming thing, was not going to work.
This is a good video game channel. I like her. I might just be Lady Decade is the name of the channel. She does good, pretty good content.
And it would never be forgiven.
I like her because she actually, it's not all about drama. I mean, this video is sort of about drama, but most of her stuff is just like about video games and stuff.
You know, and the three, you know, between the three of them, you know, they did a bunch of things there that I found out over time just were bad like that, and you know, were some of the most cringeworthy moments on New G4. And it was really just down to them, you know, just not knowing what they were doing, and you know, their own egos and stuff like that. But when they did the layoffs, like they told me that that's where that came from. It wasn't a legitimate, she wanted to fight for the rights of women. It was totally, we're going to shake things up and piss off the audience. Yeah, that's going to get them.
Okay, I keep on listing this part, but it's important for the intro. I need to get the exact time code.
Actually, like, people are like, there we can tell the truth. Maybe because
yeah, I liked that music too.
Well, I think usually I was able to diffuse it because I pretended to be someone who was just a fan, you know, didn't know the specifics of what went on. I just knew that that's not typically how it worked. But I also didn't want them to kill Fred. Yeah, the poor guy's just filling in, you know. He's like, what the hell happened? Am I going to get fired now because of this? So, yeah, but that was the experience with those four. I could have told them that idea that, hey, we're going to piss off the audience with this sexism and gaming thing was not going to work, and it would never be forgiven. You know, and the three, you know, between the three of them, you know, they did a bunch of things there that I found out over time just were bad like that, and you know, were some of the most cringeworthy moments on New G4. And it was really just down to them, you know, just not knowing what they were doing, and you know, their own egos and stuff like that. But when they did the layoffs, I got a hold of it, and they told me that that's where that came from. It wasn't a legitimate, she wanted to fight for the rights of women. It was totally, we're going to shake things up and piss off the audience.
150, 1 hour 53 minutes.
And they don't want those to get successful anymore because it's not part of the agenda. So they're trying to cancel
No.
Fund by comic, and this is where I'm at right now with my new Emerald Array book. And we had a huge opening, guys, for a alternative platform. I just got to say, like, getting 150 backers in 2 days is amazing. This has done fantastic. I was not expecting it.
Yeah, that's going to get us ratings.
And it's all because of readers.
Then when they realized quickly how bad it had gone, and they knew the company was going to fail anyway, yeah, because they had no idea how to save it. And they decided, we're going to keep her on so that we can blame her when it fails. Because I kept saying, why?
I made a team of all strong male leads to do this in the Emerald Array, and I've listened to you guys. And so I gave this
Blame Frosk. This is a bombshell. Because everyone blamed Frosk for the fall of G4, but they told her to do that.
Why are they not letting her go? It's just one thing after another. You could diffuse this whole thing with the fans if you did let her go. And she has earned, you know, she had messed up enough time with things she said. I was like, you know, it's probably just a good idea that she stopped tweeting. You know, just stop. You know, and they said they're keeping her on so they can blame her when it all fails. I was like, oh, well, that's great. You know, and I think it was a week later. That was a Thursday. I think, and then they laid her off on Monday. So, yeah, because now the company was getting flack for this person's so terrible and awful. Why are you keeping her on? And they couldn't hide it. so they just went ahead and let her go. But but she certainly, because she kept playing tough with her responses to all the criticism. But then it clearly was getting to her, and that was
Yuri
confirmed
Luffy,
because
what is your
you
deal?
talked
Now
about
you're sending me
it.
spam messages.
It felt bad to hear how much of an impact it had.
Yeah, I mean, she's only human. I mean, look, that's just part, like they say on YouTube. Don't check the comments, but
And so Luke Stone, who runs Fund My Comic here, received a message.
the comments, but you still have to engage.
Racist, etc.
I mean,
saying that
look, that's just
platforming hate, the usual, right? The SJWs and comics weren't satisfied that because the Kickstarter ban didn't seem to.
Look, that's just
It didn't seem to deter any backers.
Look, that's just.
And they don't want that. The whole point is life ruination, right? They want me not to be able to put food on the table for my family, to not have a career in comics. That's the goal.
How much of an impact it had.
No alternatives.
Yeah, I mean, she's only human. I mean, look, that's just part, like they say on YouTube. Don't check the comments, but you still have to engage. I think any of that stuff, it just wears on you, even the toughest person. Just wears on you.
Support on Fund My Comic. Look at what he says here. He says, "I'm committed to my word and to the Fund My Comic TOS. We will occasionally receive a message voicing concern about a creator or project that's allowed to fund using our platform. This is the basic response we give them 99% of the time. And this is how he responded to that troll attacking me. Thank you for expressing your concern. However, we do not regulate or monitor creators' behaviors outside of our platform. Whether we agree with a creator's conduct off platform does not impact their ability to use our services. The oversight is limited to the content that's posted on the shared on our platform.
Even the toughest person. Just wears on you.
No, and I said, look, you got to toughen up a little bit. I have a YouTube channel where I almost never appear on camera. I'm always represented by a Bitmoji. And I get criticism. And I get I get trolls. I get stuff.
Yeah, people just are not very nice online. Just me.
Oh, it's being anonymous. It's like you can just be a bully, and say stuff. At least, like when I created the
yeah, people just are not very nice online. Just me.
And a lot of people are afraid to say that kind of thing. That's what they do. They try to instill fear in you that you're going to get.
Oh, it's being anonymous.
Get destroyed over that to force it. Right? It is evil. What they're doing is truly fascist. That is the definition of fascism. The content provided is benign in nature. That's right. It does not contain any material we would consider offensive based on the campaign submissions.
I think she just popped in.
Principles for all creators and artists who use our platform. One,
our queen.
Expression. While creators may produce content that we or others might not personally enjoy,
you guys are
as long as they adhere to our established guidelines, they have the right to express themselves freely and allow supporters to show their backing. Second, we believe in creators' right to independence.
The ones that can't figure out how to put a show together. We lasted 13 years, launched a bunch of superstar careers, and we have this.
With both creators and backers. If this campaign passes our review process and is a recruit,
they spend their whole career in sports and don't like sports. They spend their career working.
We encourage you to use your own platform to share your views if you believe this creator poses a concern. However, we will adhere to the terms of service and will not take any action against this or any creator based on conduct outside of our platform. In conclusion, he basically said, "Buzz off, SJW."
You feel bad for me.
It's great. He said, sometimes we get pressed on the matter, have to include clarification. We only need
spend their career
using our service to commit crimes verified by a legal agency. Some people do not like that. It's okay. We will protect them if the tables ever turn. So there it goes. And it's great. I'm glad to be protected. I'm glad that I have this here.
It was great. And that element was there in the new G4. They all obviously were being supportive of each other.
This is led by Lieutenant Lansing here. Lieutenant Lansing is your
bad, for that, especially for the ones that were very funny.
He's unabashedly Catholic. He's stalwart. He is the rock of our team. He's got a team of course, Olsen, Perello, and Richards.
Oh, I've made it to the 2-hour mark.
And they've all got their unique personality traits, doing wonderful things. And so this is our Space Marine team.
And a bunch of them, they looked bored. They didn't look like they knew what they were supposed to be doing.
Lastly, who's doing a different book. Beautiful art right there. We have our wonderful meme cover. I'm doing my part. Of course, you guys might
don't check the comments, but you still have to engage. I think any of that stuff, it just wears on you. Even the toughest person, just wears on you.
No, and I said, look, you got to toughen up a little bit. I have a YouTube channel where I almost never appear on camera. I'm always represented by a Bitmoji. And I get criticism. And I get trolls. I get stuff.
Yeah, people just are not very nice online. Just me.
Oh, it's being anonymous. It's like you can just be a bully, and say stuff. At least, like when I criticize during interviews and things, I own it. I said this is where it's coming from. Sometimes it was very justified. Even when she had that quote, and again, I understood she was quoting a directive that was given to them supposedly by somebody in management. It wasn't her saying it directly, but it still, set me off and set a bunch of people off, saying that your job is to correct the mistakes of the past. And I was like, you gotta be kidding. You guys are the ones that can't figure out how to put a show together. We lasted 13 years, launched a bunch of superstar careers, and we have this, beloved legacy. We had to be corrected. But it goes back to that shift in the culture where, it was viewed that, like our past was something to be embarrassed at. And it wasn't. I'm still proud of everything, except the fat suit. I'm proud of everything we did.
Okay.
And it was definitely like the best job ever. And I felt very lucky that, because there are people who do TV, tech career positions who never get to work in a format that they love. They spend their whole career in sports.
The Chromecast just shit out again. I'm gonna punch a fucking hole through a screen. How did you get into vapes? I started around 2011. Yeah, I started around 2011, and it was just a way. They were starting to get popular, and I wanted to quit smoking. And then I started smoking again for a few years, but then I kicked it again like 2 or 3 years ago. And I've just been vaping again ever since. Goddamn fucking Chromecast, man. And it's like there's nothing I could fucking do. There's not a goddamn fucking thing I could do about it. The only thing you could do is tweet at the cocksuckers at YouTube and bitch and moan that everything, all of the shit that I pay them money for doesn't fucking work. Cocksuckers. I hope that thing I heard, what is Chromecast up to now? It just keeps fucking crashing. Yeah, fuck Chromecast. Yeah, Chromecast, you suck dick. Hey, yo. Where is it? Hey, yo, Chromecast. Worth it. It's just that it's so funny. All right, I use the Chromecast to cast YouTube onto my television. It also allows you to cast Netflix and fucking HBO Max, all that other stuff. The app that is the most shitty on Google Chromecast is YouTube, the Google-owned website. And it keeps getting worse and worse over a 10-year period. And I have to believe that it's hiring practices. They're hiring a bunch of fucking worthless people. And that's why their products just keep getting shittier and shittier. So that's why I hope Google gets broken up. I hope the government forces them to break up because they have too much power and the quality is just going down because they have to answer to nobody.
positions who
Why the fuck isn't the shit playing? God damn it. Fucking play. And here I am. Do you hear that? It's trying to catch up. And it's not connected. Motherfucker. Like, I seriously, I don't know how more people don't show up at Google going postal. It's only happened once. And that's amazing to me. Given the rage that they induce in me every single fucking day.
Most of us here today, unless
Can't be
you are
screaming. It's 3 in the morning.
American, come from a family of immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, there's always been resistance by the old immigrants.
never get to work in a format that they
They broke the app. They did some update that completely broke the app the way it works with Chromecast 4 months ago. No, more than that. It was like in May. May, June, July, August, September. No, 6 months. Half a year. They broke it. And they just left it that way. It's still broken
They
to
spend their
this
whole
day.
career in
6
sports
months.
and don't like sport. You know, they spend their career working on fashion shows or something. They don't like fashion stuff. And for those years, I got to be part of just this crazy chaos that I loved because it was everything that I'm into. Yeah, with a bunch of other people who love it too. Yeah, and who also were supreme.
Google must like hate YouTube or something, trying to make as many bad decisions as possible so everybody is like, fuck this shit, so YouTube has to shut down. No, it's too valuable. It operates at a loss, but I think it is of value to them. I don't think they care because it costs them money to run it. Because it's just... there's a gazillion hours of content on their damn databases that just keeps filling up. Yeah.
Really creative, talented people who work their asses, you know, to make those shows much more. I mean, if you looked at the numbers for what G4 paid people, for how much money they made, how much they budgeted for the shows, the fact that we pulled off so much, you know, as that we did was a real tribute to how much everyone went above and above, beyond, you know, like it was not unusual for people to kick in 130, 140%, you know, because they just, everybody wanted to honor each other's work, you know, and it was great. And that element was there in the new G4. You know, they all obviously were being supportive of each other, and they were talented people, even though a lot of them were not a good fit for G4. I think they were people who are very good in like a solo.
One thing, I guess I would remonetize my channel so that I could, because I've lost out on money. I would have gotten a little money for the re-upload of my 2010 viral video that I was a part of, the Super Mario thing.
Low setting, you know, or just working with one person.
Oh, no. What I would do is I would change their fucking ban policy. They've banned all of the interesting creators, all of my favorite creators banned from YouTube, and now the platform just kind of sucks cock, to put it bluntly.
Or maybe in a small group, but not that kind of a setting. You know, it just didn't work, and they were too focused on themselves, because that's normally how they would conduct their Twitch show or their YouTube podcast. You know, it's all about them. Well, you can't do that. Yeah, like the best of Attack and Show was always that.
Yeah, and it makes the creators miserable. Even the ones that get big, if they want to keep making money on YouTube and not get lost, like, you can't take a break. You have to put out shit every fucking day, which leads a lot of these guys. There's some guys who used to be pretty good pop culture commentary channels, but now they're in the algorithm cycle. They're in the algorithm loop, so they have to find new stupid shit to get pissed off at every day, to the point where you're just like, it fucks with the quality of their work.
Push and pull with Kevin and Olivia, you know, and how they played off each other.
I was never up for that. I'm just like, I don't care about that many things that much to have something to talk about every day. The one current event that really got me to make a video was in Mortal Kombat 11 when they made the chicks less sexy. That pissed me off a lot. And the reason they gave for doing that pissed me off a lot. But I don't have something like that every single day. I don't care about stuff that much.
And I felt that they never really had that with anybody, there. Even though you had people who were very good at certain things, but they also wasted a lot of people too. And there's some quotes in the literature where it talks about the fact that they just wasted so many of the people who were very good at different things, and then you just had them sitting on a couch the whole time. And a bunch of them, they looked bored. They didn't look like they knew what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, there's stuff like that too. Like they just arbitrarily banned Amaranth off the platform. I never watched her, but they banned her ASMR channel because they said it was too sexual, even though it fell within guidelines. And then they banned her personal YouTube account that she doesn't even upload things to, that has her YouTube Premium connected to it. And you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? What, is that necessary?
And so I feel bad, for that, especially for the ones that were very funny and very talented, and even the Frost, thing, because I knew she was getting more grief for that than she should have gotten.
Okay, so I do want to ask another question, and then
it's really frustrating and infuriating, even as someone like me who flies under the radar and probably gets away with all the degenerate things I do over here. Like, I think if YouTube is aware that I was like doing dabs on stream every night, that my channel would probably be permanently demonetized, even though I'm not eligible for monetization because I don't have enough hours watched. I have enough views, not enough, there's not enough hours watched. And I mean, I have enough subs. I've had for a year, but, I'm not making content that a bunch of people come and watch. It would be nice if people could fucking super chat me, though. Not that that happens that often, but it would be nice if it was easy, because I had somebody who wanted to give me money one time, and it was too complicated. I'm like, okay, you have to go to this Streamlabs link, and you could donate through there, and then they're like, I don't have PayPal. I'm like, you could send me Venmo or Cash App, and I put all those links in the thing. Sometimes people offer to, like, tip me, and it's just a big fucking chore. Actually, I would prefer if people tip me through Venmo and Cash App anyway, because YouTube takes 30% and they run ads on my videos and don't pay me for anything. So, fuck them. Cock suckers.
Because I knew she was getting more grief for that than she should have gotten.
Okay, so I do want to ask another question, and then we can end talking about some of what your health challenges are. But I don't know how much power you have left on your iPad, because you said it can you do 2 hours. While you're heading up.
I don't know Pyro Live.
So now I'm blocking my camera. Look at it. 65%.
I don't know how much power you have left on your iPad, because you said it can you do 2 hours.
If you could fix a feature on YouTube, what would it be? The ability for me to build my fucking queue on Chromecast, because I keep on thinking about making a video about how fucking stupid this app has gotten. Because I used to you just click on a video and then a window would pop up and you click add to queue. Now I have to go through the daily videos they have posted, and I have to click, and I have a big ass fucking phone. This phone's as big as my face. But they have this little tiny thing with 3 dots. You have to click the 3 dots on the corner of the thumbnail, and God help you if you miss those 3 dots, because then whatever you're watching, it'll switch to that video and fuck up everything. And then when you go back to the video, it starts it from the fucking beginning. So you have to click the little tiny thing with the 3 dots, and then press add to queue. I almost pronounced it wrong. And then on top of that, because the fucking thing crashes every 2 videos, you also have to click save to watch later, or else you have to go back, and I follow a bunch of channels. It takes like 8 minutes sometimes to build my queue and sift through everything that's been posted in the 24 hours since I've last been to YouTube. And I've told this to them, and they say, oh yeah, well, we fixed it, and then I'm like, no you didn't.
Your iPad, because you said it can you do 2 hours. We're heading up to
and
2
I'm blocking my camera. Look at it. 65%. So.
Okay, so you're fine. Okay, I didn't want to like.
Millions of
Okay.
Americans were without power after the hurricane, as the next one is
For
already
that,
on its way.
that
Because
yeah, she
remember,
should have
we're
gotten.
only talking about the
Yeah.
podcast because she
Okay,
tried
so I do
attack
want to
Trump
ask
during her
another
fluffy
question,
solo
and then we
meeting.
can
But
end
as
talking
they
about
aired
some of what
Harris's
your
episode
health
on
challenges are. But I don't know how much
randomly
power you have
went
left
live
on
at
your
the same
iPad
exact
because you said it can you do
time,
2
Florida
hours.
Governor Ron
We're heading up to
and
2
I'm
hours.
blocking my camera. Look at it. 65%. So.
Okay, so you're fine. Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
want to like. Okay, so you have a history in TV production. You've worked with these. I didn't want to like. Okay, so.
And I literally gave my personal phone number to call.
And this is right after Kamala tried to slam DeSantis for not taking her hurricane calls.
Yeah, she should have gotten.
Yeah. Okay, so I do want to ask another question, and then we can end talking about some of what your health challenges are. But I don't know how much power you have left on your iPad because you said it can you do 2 hours. We're heading up to 2
and
hours.
I'm blocking my camera. Look at it. 65%.
Yeah, bring back the
Okay,
dislikes.
So you're fine. Okay.
I have a plugin on my browser. If I'm on my computer, I can see the dislikes. But yeah, that was so stupid, and it's just to help fucking Disney not be embarrassed by the dog shit they've been making lately. How stupid the world has gotten in just the past 10 years is baffling to me.
As when she tried to make a speech to the unions, for the first time in over 3 years, Biden made a briefing room appearance as president. Not to say anything necessarily important, but to make
Feel
sure
bad,
Kamala
you know,
gets
for that,
dragged down
especially for the ones that were very funny and very talented. You know, and even the Frost, you know, thing, because I knew she was getting more grief for that than you know, she should have gotten.
You have a history in TV production. You've worked with these networks. You know what they're like. Okay, so here's my thing. When researching this, I could get a lot of people to talk to me anonymously. Many people were very happy to leak. That wasn't a problem. The problem.
Yeah, Susan, R.I.P. Fucking bitch. I read up a little bit about her, and she had a very impressive career. She was like one of the founders of Google, and I don't know how. I mean, it's probably pretty hard to handle taking care of YouTube. I mean, I'm sure people have gotten fucked no matter what, but I don't know what I was gonna say.
On the record, it seems, and so many people have said,
what's disrespectful? Did I said R.I.P. to Susan?
You know, this is only a part of what I can tell you, but there are much worse problems here. Frost giving a loop.
It just crashed again. I take it back. So fuck you. You said she was a... What did I call her? Imagine having a Chromebook. Okay, am I being disrespectful because I was trying to give Susan the benefit of the doubt? And he's like, no, that's disrespectful. Imagine having a Chromebook and living under not Kamala. I saw Kamala on my TV.
Makes it even funnier because she was a friend of Dorothy.
Don't you give her the benefit of the doubt. You don't have to use a Chromebook to watch this. You don't know what I'm going through. You think it's bad with your fucking Chromecast? I have a Chromebook. It's a fake computer. It's not even a real computer.
Knew she was getting more grief for that.
It's an Android device made to look like a real laptop.
that should have gotten.
You have a history in TV production. You've worked with these networks. You know what they're like.
I'm sorry, Yuri.
Okay, so here's my thing. When researching this, I could get a lot of people to talk to me anonymously. Many people were very happy to leak. That wasn't a problem. The problem is getting people on the record. It seems, and so many people have said, you know, this is only a part of what I can tell you, but there are much worse problems here. Frost even alludes to it in our interview. It's hard to get specifics on what they are, because Frost thought that they were actually going to get in trouble for like something like really bad, like maybe criminal, but I can't seem to get a hard read on what that is, and there seems to be no interest, as far as I can tell, from the media, from the other companies, from the people that formerly worked there to dive further or to hold anyone accountable.
On this podcast, no. I don't think that Pete could interview me for an hour and it would be that entertainment. I've accomplished nothing, and I've done nothing good. I suck. But I'm in talks with Kaylee from Once Over with Kaylee, and I want to do a video with her because I think I can handle that better. I already has suggested a movie. We just had to figure it out. Yeah. So yeah, sort of. Like, did you see that movie review with her guest that I did? That's kind of like a podcast. It was like a hour and a half conversation. Yeah. I wanna do like that thing I was editing, except I'll be the guest on the episode, and I'll edit it for free because the movie I picked probably won't get her a lot of traffic, and it's promotion for me too. It might get me like 2 subs if that's on her channel.
Is there something about these companies?
It's crazy. You think that, like, you know, I have my name and my link to my channel on videos that have like thousands of views, and I'm thinking like, oh, my name's in the description. I'm sure some people will be curious and they'll say, oh, this guy edited it, I'll follow his channel. I don't think it really does anything for me. No, I'll edit it too. It'll be like a I would actually have a lot of fun editing it, especially for the movie. I think that it could be a really funny video.
Because you've worked at them, that they are just so, they're just so slimy and slick, and they just slither right through. You know, it's like they're coated in butter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's through. You know, it's like they're coated in butter.
I should bleep him there too. Coded in bleep.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's ever.
She looks forward to painting the paint. Then we're going to have some fussy chops and a pint. She looks forward to it.
Child labor. Are you calling me a child?
Me and slick, and they just slither right through. You know, it's like they're coated in butter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's ever going to be like.
I am so old, Yuri Lofi. Not even funny.
Right through. You know, it's like they're coated in butter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think.
I am probably over, I'm probably past the halfway point of my life. There's no way, I don't think there's any way I'm making it to 80.
They're just so slimy and slick, and they just slither right through. You know, it's like they're coated in butter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's ever going to be like, where did all this money?
Is it a triumph? See, she's trying to paint it as this like big triumphant thing.
They're just so slimy.
We like lost this $100 million ship.
You're gonna guess my age? Okay, guess. I won't spoil it.
Like, imagine you went out and totaled your car, and you came back and you said, oh, listen, the car's fucked. It's a wreck. It's got to be
No, I am not 23. No, I'm not 24. No, I'm not 26. Up.
We shockingly backseat drive each other, don't we? Whenever you're driving, you're
Yeah.
ridiculous. We're going to get in a crash any second.
Nope.
3 cars ahead. You're braking too late. You're moving too much to the right. And when I drive, she fucking does the imaginary brakes. Yeah.
She pumps the brakes in the fucking passenger seat.
Yeah, he's a hazardous breaker, this one.
I am.
Older than 27. I wish I was 27.
Super duper early.
Nope.
No, you don't.
I'm a brake.
Higher.
No, you don't.
Anyway, so this is the theme the New Zealand press is going with. So the New Zealand press is
Higher than 30.
This is like an embarrassment. We look like fucking idiots. Ex-Royal Navy commander praised for
You have to
saving
guess.
lives after New Zealand's naval ship sinks.
You told me not to spoil it. 33? Nope. Higher.
I thought, whoa, have they already exed her?
Yeah.
But she was actually in the British Navy. She's British, and she moved to New Zealand.
Oh.
So rather than finding some New Zealand ship to crash this ship,
Not quite. A little bit higher than that.
I think
A little bit higher than 37. You're getting close, though.
decision to abandon HMNZS
You're pretty close.
Wowie saved lives. Oh, she's a fucking hero. Commander of HMNZS Manawi Wowie credited with saving
Very close. You're super hot. There you go. You hit it. You hit it. 39. 39 years old. Just turned 39 over the summer. June 25th, 1985 is my birthday. You're not going to say something mean next, are you?
So they'll do the inquiry into this.
Oh, thank you, Yuri Lofi. I really appreciate that. I need that positive reinforcement because I don't know. I don't really get compliments anymore. I think I'm old enough where people are just like, I used to look. I used to look more better, but I think I'm still doing okay for my age. I've seen other people who are 10 years younger than me who, if on the fly, I'd say like, oh, you're like 10 years older than me. Show my school photo. Actually, I could probably show you something pretty funny. Did you say you don't have Instagram? I think I've asked you to add me on Instagram, but I don't think you have that.
Look how diverse we are. This is from, oddly enough, the Australian Naval Institute.
Sorry, just before you go on. Wasn't it an old, like, seaman's myth back in the day that if you had a woman on the ship, it was bad?
I'll show you something.
Navy ship commander panics at thought of handling large hard object full of seamen. Yeah, so as I was saying, this is from the Australian Naval Institute. It says women leaders in Royal New Zealand Navy. For the Royal New Zealand Navy, the 2023 International Women's Day offers more reasons to celebrate than most. It coincides with not only the highest percentage of women ever in the RNZ,
Let's see here.
27.4%, but the largest number of women taking command of RNZ. I'm sick of saying that. The fucking Navy, ships and shore units, with 4 in command of ships and 3 in command of shore units. So here's those 4 commanders they were talking about. Now this here is Yvonne Gray, and this one here, I forget her name, but she
Here I am.
crashed the ship too. Yeah, she crashed the ship like last year. Look at this. Hull
Here
damage
is my
caused in
Instagram
Singapore,
page.
berths in high winds. So that was her.
Oh, there you go. That's the reason why they don't have any.
Let me see if I can find a picture of me from when
Last one.
I was younger.
But probably not many. They've got
No, this isn't. These are recent pictures. Like, this was a few weeks ago.
Anyway, I mentioned
I broke out the skinny jeans. I didn't know if I was going to fit in them anymore because I've just been... Alright, I'm going to find... There's like a throwback Thursday picture somewhere. Look at me being a dork. I'm actually kind of embarrassed showing this. Oh, here's me from... here's me from 1999. This was Easter when I got my first pair of Janko jeans. Do you see those fat pants? This is when I was in middle school. Jankos were very popular, and I was into like Korn, the band Korn. So this is good to have, but yeah, I look like a baby right here. This is my nephew.
Yeah, so anyway, about the ship itself, right, because
Let's see if I could find old school me.
It was originally called the Ida Fon, and it was a Norwegian ship. It was a Norwegian ship designed to map the North Sea.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I did a long beard for a while. Yeah. Yeah, when I had that beard, that was in my, like, I don't give a fuck phase. Now I'm actually like, here's a kitty I met at the Botanic Gardens in Denver. The kitty just came up to me. Oh, here is me with YouTubers The Quartering, and this is comedian Ryan Long. I am acquaintances with The Quartering. I don't know if you know that YouTuber. Oh, and there's Danny Polishchuk. This is at their comedy show in Chicago. I got to have drinks with them. That was very cool. Oh, here's one from high school. This is me at, like, I think I was at homecoming, and I'm gothed the fuck out. Black nail polish, spike necklace, black hair. This is goth. I was goth, not emo. This is like before. This is like, well, this is right around the time emo was starting. I was channeling 90s goth. Very grainy picture. I have a better one though. Oh, here's me. Oh, here's me with The Quartering again at a political conference that I was invited to on the guest list. I wasn't speaking there, but. And here's me with Destiny. Destiny is a really big, he's a really big YouTuber. And here's his ex-wife that I was sneaking into her live stream. That's a still from her live stream. You know Destiny?
How embarrassing is this?
It's not embarrassing.
Yeah. I started watching him after that. Oh, and here's the actual Justice Warrior. He's the guy who got me on the guest list. He makes great YouTube content. Super nice guy. He bought me a BLT also, which means we're friends forever. Oh, these are my kitties. I used to have 3 kitties. I'm more terminally online than you think. I know him. Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to have 3 kitties. They have all since passed away. This is Pickle. Pickle is the sweetest baby I've ever met. Oh, here's somebody wearing my merch. There's me wearing I almost bought this pimp jacket at Forever 21. I have merch. Just Google Drunken Atheist Studio Teespring. I'm not famous at all. But I'm creative, so I made my merch. Oh, this is when I shaved my head during the lockdown because I wasn't. Oh, and this is during COVID. I had these custom masks made. Well, not custom masks. They were 3D printed masks, I should say. Yeah, I shaved my head during lockdown and just wore a gas mask. This is like this is right when lockdown was ramping up, and I turned it into a opportunity to go like post-apocalyptic wardrobe fashion. Right, there's one other. Oh, here's me from a long time ago. This is me from 2007.
There's earthquakes, there's been tsunami, there's been all sorts of changes to those reefs, so it is really important.
Oh, it said boobs because it looked like it said boobs on my mile counter on the dashboard of my car. This is me in 2007. This is when I was probably 21 or 22. I was 21 or 22 when this picture was taken.
Basically a tender for oil rigs, so no, I haven't. And
trying to find.
No, you didn't go bargain hunting.
That's the thing, though.
There's a high quality picture of me from. Oh, this is my first commission job. I did a commercial for a dating app. Oh, here's some of my merch. Yeah, just Google Drunken Atheist Studio Teespring. You'll find. You'll find my stuff. Where's the picture? I've shared it more than once.
I know. They're just avoiding like any accountability for this captain.
Will there be any attempts to recover any parts of the boat?
Well, there may well be. Yeah, so, no, really good question, actually.
Oh, man.
Some naval, some divers were...
Oh, here's one from high school. Yeah, dork.
And we sent the men pilots this time.
This is my hairstylist / ex-girlfriend modeling my merch. Chris Angel. Oh, here's a bunch of people wearing my merch. I used to have people come over and be on the channel more often. Oh, this is when I was an ice cream man. Do you have ice cream trucks in Sweden? In America, some people have a job where they get into a truck like this and then they just drive around with music playing, and I sell ice cream on the street. I did that for a while. Yes, loud. I can't believe I haven't found this picture yet. I've shared it a few times. I must have missed it. No, I couldn't have missed it. I would have noticed. Oh, this is me from like 2008 probably, when I worked for Blockbuster Video. I'm pretty young there. I don't know if you had Blockbuster Videos in Sweden. It's a pretty big company. Where's my gothed out picture? I love this picture. This is me, a cosplayer / adult model, Vera Dark. I think I'm getting close. Oh yeah, and the one with Vera Dark is a copy of this picture that was taken earlier. Oops. Oh, we found it. This is me when I was 18. That's the picture I've been looking for. And I am super goth there. My hair is so much thicker than. Who is that? Who is this? This is me. So yeah. I wish my hair was this thick still. Yeah, this is me. You do not believe? And that's me. And that's also me. Yeah, this is when I was 18. I look better now? Okay. Alright, yeah. There's me. But see, look, this is just from a few years ago, and I feel like my face looks better here. It's actually probably more than a few years ago. It's probably like 10 years ago. I just can't keep track of time anymore. Oh, I also did a little bit of cosplaying in the early 2010s. I did a Deadpool / Hunter S. Thompson from Fear and Loathing. There you kind of looked like Eminem. That's a new one. Yeah, this is a fun cosplay, but man, super uncomfortable wearing a spandex suit and walking around. I have a history. Oh yeah. This is what I'm emulating. Deadpool / this guy. And I still wear visors. I've always worn the visors. Yep. Alright, this is the beginning of the Instagram. Ooh, I painted this. I still have it too. When I posted it, was it brand new? No, I got my hands on it when the goth pictures, I had found them and took pictures of them because they were just like sitting around in storage. But yeah, there we go. I hope that was satisfying. Yeah, well, I've had a long time. I've had the Instagram account since like 2011, so I've had like 13 years to build on it. How do I feel about my past gothery? I still incorporate a goth aesthetic into my fashion in current year. It's I kind of like the way that I dress is kind of like a hybrid of a few different things. I think about the way that I dress myself, and some people do not like it. They think I look like a buffoon, and it gets me a lot of unwanted attention because I've dressed so loud. But I want to look the way I want to look, even if some people think it's stupid. I'm not an emo. I don't listen to emo music. Oh, but I do incorporate kind of an emo look because you saw me when I was young. Super skinny guy. I have to dress to my build. So like skinny jeans, because otherwise I would just look goofy. So people are like, why you dress like that? And I'm like, if I dress like you, I would look even weirder. I would look like this gangly guy just lost in other people's fashion. Like, other people's fashion don't work on me. Which is why I'm just like, why do you give a fuck? My eyes and brain don't even register what other people are wearing unless it's like cool. I don't know though.
Slimy and slick, and they just slip right through. You know, it's like they're coated in butter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's ever going to be like, where did all this money go?
I dress pajamas. Does that mean that you dress in pajamas?
Like, what happened here? Like, there seems to be some iffy things going on. Maybe something needs to be investigated, but I don't think, I hate to use this term, justice for G4, but I don't for but I don't
That was a take back.
I don't
look
think
back.
I hate to use this term, justice for
A look
G4,
back.
but I don't think there ever will be, at least for new G4.
To be honest,
Why do you feel bad for me? Not to be mean, but you're about to say something mean.
yeah, but yeah, and then I had shot.
You're leaving me hanging when you're about to say something mean. Looking back, it almost seems like you did a little bit more. YK meeting Destiny in the country club. Meeting Dustin and all. It doesn't really seem like you do that much anymore. You know, it's just different. The Destiny thing, I met the Quartering and Destiny and Actual Justice Warrior in person all on the same day. That was one political conference I went to, and honestly, it's been a few years, but there hasn't been one close to me again. And like they're doing them all in Texas now, and it cost me so much money to travel to Texas. Plus, I don't like Texas. Weed is illegal there. And back in like the late 2010s, I used to have guests come here and be on the channel a lot more, which was fun, and that's tapered off, but I've kind of changed the way I do things now. Now I'm not filming myself with my cell phone and editing all my videos on my phone like I did back then. Now I have a computer, I have the broadcast set up, and I'm more active in different ways because look at all this freelance stuff I'm doing. I would say that, in a way, I'm more active now than I ever have been. Yeah, you know, I'll have a guest on sometime. My neighbor used to be on a lot. I should have her on, but we just haven't done it in a while. I would probably need to get another mic. It sucks sharing a mic. I wouldn't rule out having guests, in-person guests, back to the studio.
And it's that clicky thing because it came from Chris and a bunch of us who were considering that they couldn't talk because they were under NDA.
Thing is sad though is like for a minute I actually had a small but existent like live stream audience where I would get like 10 people in like every stream, but then I took a break for like 3 months. I burnt out on it, and then I come back and none of those people ever came back. None of the people I used to hang out with every day come back anymore. Jaculating 90? Are you cutting and pasting spam? Do you save spam comments from other robots, Lofi? Or have you been a bot, an advanced bot this entire time?
That's what I was told over and over again, that they had pretty strict NDAs.
Right, but then I guess once it all liquidated and was gone, I guess they were no longer subject to the NDAs. Because then in their own podcasts, then they did start talking about stuff that was going on.
I have to look at it, but I think one person explained that.
Oh.
Being a part of it. So hearing a lot when it went under that they couldn't talk because they were under NDAs.
That's what I was told over and over again, that they had pretty strict NDAs.
Right, but then I guess once it all liquidated and was gone, I guess they were no longer subject to the NDAs. Because then in their own podcasts, then they did start talking about stuff that was going on.
I have to look at it, but I think one. I have to look. I have to.
Today we're talking about one of the biggest morons on the internet, Jack Doherty. You already know who he is, and if you hate him as much as I do,
because then in their own podcasts, then they did start talking about stuff that was going.
I have to look at it, but I think one person explained that the organization was so incompetent that they had set up for NDAs, but they improperly filed them.
Oh God.
And
of course, it didn't end well. He crashed it. He totaled his fucking car on live stream in front of, I think, tens of thousands of people. No one was injured seriously, at least. His buddy.
It has been fun. It's time for Lisa Rosie 2. What does that mean?
No one broke any bones or fucked anything up permanently, I think. And you might be thinking, what a relief. I'm thinking, bro, what a relief no one else got hurt. Like, okay, Jack Doherty, not saying anything, but like, if he had crashed his fucking car while texting and driving, I wouldn't really be shocked if he got hurt. And my sympathy would extend as far as it can when it's
early filed them.
Oh God.
And so some people were able to sneak through.
Okay.
I'd have to find it. Someone sent me an email about it.
Okay, I'm 2 hours 5 minutes into the editing stream, and I'm kind of burning out. But I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna be back to play some Hong Kong Massacre. Also, I plan on playing very soon a little game called Class of 09 that I've seen many clips of, and it seems pretty fucked up and hilarious. So that's something to look forward to on the channel. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, Yuri Lofi. Maybe I will see you. Maybe I'll see you in a little bit if you catch me. I don't think the break's not going to be that long. I probably just going to fix my drink. But yeah, I'll either see you in a few or I'll see you tomorrow or something. Thanks for watching, everybody who popped in. Right back at ya. All y'all stay metal. Hail Satan.
Never do what you're told. Then